Hello, I'm Matthew Petzer, and this is my EPQ presentation on creating a single. My initial planning was rather minimal, as going into year 12 I already had a strong idea on how I wanted to approach the EPQ project. However, I still wanted to explore possible ideas, and after completing my self-audit and my mind maps, I arrived at the conclusion of creating an EP and an orchestral piece to juxtapose it. This is my final product, and I uploaded my single to YouTube as Spotify requires a distributor, and I didn't have enough time nor the context to find one. Although my project didn't end up as I originally intended, I'm still proud of the outcome, and I believe I learned a multitude of skills which I will get onto intermittently. Here's some audio to show you how my song has developed throughout the year. As you can hear, the final product sounds a lot cleaner due to my more proficient use of music techniques. As you can see, I made a very significant change going from an EP to a single, and eliminating the orchestral element. This was due to the time problem I ran into, and it was the first problem I ran into as I was deviating away too much from my original long-term timeline. I had many problems occur within my project, and as my project progressed, I got even better at dealing with the problems, as well as evaluating my solutions and how I dealt with the issue. I also got a lot better at organizing my project, as you can see with each area evolving in its form throughout the project. By far, my biggest problem in my project was having to create an at-home studio. This, as I didn't have access to the school's facilities, and it was a very costly endeavor, and despite not all aspects of it going to plan, most notably my microphone and keyboard not being compatible with my Mac, forcing me to not use vocals and purchase a MIDI keyboard, I still think going through that process of having to create an entirely new and foreign setup helped me get better at approaching problems and made me realize the importance of not being hasty and doing the research before going ahead with projects. I developed many skills throughout my EPQ, and I kept them organized and consistently evaluated my progress via a skill tracker and multiple skill wheels as shown. The skills I developed the most were ones I didn't even consider initially. For example, my time management improved greatly with my multiple timelines improving drastically, and within my diary, giving myself tasks to complete for the next week and then evaluating whether I achieved those tasks or not. My diary was one of my favorite things to fill in, as it really gave me a strong sense of progress as I was going through my project. My secondary research improved drastically, and I found that videos were my favorite way of conducting research on my single, as I felt it was a lot more digestible compared to an article. My formatting also got a lot better, as I found the orthodox CRAAP method of source tracking wasn't to my liking, and so I adapted it in the final picture by saying what I've learned, why I chose to research it, evidence of use, and then finally evaluating how useful I think this piece of research was. But my primary research was admittedly quite limited. However, I made sure I analysed and evaluated each question's responses to my survey, all answers to my survey, and I still believe my primary research was not an area of weakness. I also believe my project didn't have as much content to do primary research on, as producing a single is quite an active-oriented project rather than a data collection-oriented project. I also developed my drawing skills, and despite them not being amazing at the end, they were still a lot better than how they started. I also did frequent voice memos of my improvisation on piano and my vocal practice. Overall, I think I've become a lot more independent, more driven, and I've developed a wide range of skills and created a strong final song. If I were to do anything differently, I would make sure that I make my time management better at the beginning, and also make sure that my research was done consistently throughout the project, not just inside really big chunks. Thank you for watching my presentation, and I would really appreciate it if you would fill in my Google Forms.